Today, we're diving into a really critical moment for any entrepreneur. That tipping point where the safe choice, staying local, actually becomes the riskiest move you can possibly make. Let's just start with this quote because, wow, it really hits home. It completely reframes inaction, right? It's not just pausing, it's an active choice, and it could be a really, really costly one. This idea pretty much sets the stage for everything we're about to explore. So this is the fork in the road, especially for Hong Kong's small and medium-sized businesses. On one side, you've got the local scene, where margins are getting paper thin and the competition is just fierce. On the other side, though, you have this massive opportunity to reinvent yourself, to become a global connector using cross-border thinking. These are two completely different futures.
Okay, so let's dig into that first part. Why exactly is that local comfort zone not so comfortable anymore? What are the things happening on the ground that make the decision to do nothing so incredibly expensive?
And it's not just one thing. It's like a perfect storm of pressures all hitting at once. Hong Kong's traditional role is shifting, and we're seeing mainland firms take the lead on all the big projects. At the same time, you've got super high operating costs, and people just aren't spending like they used to. It all adds up to this classic squeeze on smaller businesses, leading to brutal price wars and almost no margin. The old playbook? It just isn't cutting it. So when you look at all that pressure, the choice becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? Is your future about being just another local company, fighting over a pie that's getting smaller every day? Or is it about evolving, becoming that global connector who can create brand new value between different markets?
So what happened? What were the big signals that the rules of the game had totally changed? Well, it really boils down to two massive forces that came along and pretty much altered the entire landscape for businesses everywhere.
First up, and this one's a big one, the incredible speed of AI. I mean, think about it. It feels like just yesterday it was this cool experimental toy we were all playing with. But in what feels like the blink of an eye, it's become a business-critical teammate that can write code, automate entire workflows, and even run marketing campaigns. This wasn't a slow change, it was an earthquake. The second force was a huge shift in the physical landscape. While opportunities back in Hong Kong were getting snapped up by the bigger players, a completely new door opened up. The UK's BNO route suddenly offered this stable, rules-based environment, a real alternative for entrepreneurs to not just do business, but to actually live and build something for the long haul. And make no mistake, this desire to go global is not a niche idea. The numbers are staggering. A full 90% of Hong Kong's small and medium-sized enterprises are looking at expanding overseas. So the question isn't if they want to go, it's how they're going to do it.
But that how often gets bogged down in myths. You know the ones, the UK work culture is so slow and rigid, or getting a visa is just impossible. But the reality on the ground is totally different. Remote work is the new normal, there are actual viable visa routes for founders, and there are local support systems ready and willing to help new businesses land on their feet. The perception and the reality are worlds apart.
This question just reframes the entire conversation, doesn't it? Hong Kong's whole identity, its whole strength, has always been as this bridge. So why would you choose to only stand on one bank of the river? A bridge isn't much of a bridge if it doesn't connect to both sides. Okay, so that's the theory. But how does a company actually make that leap? How do you go from talking about it to actually doing it? Let's take a look at the playbook of a company called V8 Global, who didn't just talk the talk, they walked it.
Their story is a fantastic case study. They started out as a local tool seller in Hong Kong, and they completely transformed their business into a true cross-border growth engine, operating smoothly between Hong Kong, Taiwan, and the UK. That's what walking the talk looks like.
So what's their secret sauce? Well, at the heart of it is this 4-step approach to AI marketing they call REAL. It's super simple but incredibly powerful. First, you research with actual data, no more guesswork. Then you evaluate your messages and channels fast to see what works. Once you find a winning path, you automate the lead nurturing. And finally, you make it long-lasting by turning everything you learned into reusable assets. It's a system, not just a bunch of random tactics. And get this, they use a concept called AI brand avatars. Now, this is just brilliant because it solves one of the biggest problems any founder faces: burnout. These digital personas act like your brand online, 24/7, localizing content and keeping things active. This frees up the actual humans to focus on what they do best, strategy, and having those high-value conversations. Now, let's be real for a second. None of this is a walk in the park. Expanding globally comes with a ton of friction. There's language. Knowing working English is way different from knowing sales English. You've got to rebuild your entire network from zero. There are totally different cultural norms and, of course, a whole layer of regulations like GDPR. These are the real-world hurdles that stop a lot of people. But here's the cool part. For pretty much every single one of those friction points, there is a tech solution. Language issues? There are multilingual workflows. Worried about GDPR? Use a compliant marketing platform. Nervous about prospecting? Let AI agents warm up your leads for you. Complex payments? Integrate with UK banking. There's an answer for everything.
Okay, this next part is really, really important to understand. The window of opportunity we're talking about right now, well, it's not going to be open forever. If we look ahead to 2026, it's pretty clear the landscape is going to be dramatically different. In fact, there are 3 huge forces that are set to completely redefine what it means to be a cross-border entrepreneur. And understanding them now is the absolute key, because what works today might be totally useless in just a couple of years.
First up is content. We are heading straight for total AI saturation. Audiences are going to be so tired of generic robotic content. The brands that win in that environment won't be the ones creating the most content, but the ones that are the most authentic, the ones using AI to amplify a real human story, not to replace it.
Second is positioning. Look, trying to compete on price with massive mainland providers is a race to the bottom. It's a losing game. The really smart move is to shift from being just another provider to becoming a value bridge, that trusted connector who truly understands both the East and the West. That's a role that people will pay a premium for. And finally, the rules themselves are going to change. You can bet that regulations around AI, data, and cross-border finance are only going to get tighter. Now, that might sound intimidating, but for businesses that build compliant, solid systems now, it's not a threat. It's a massive competitive advantage. For them, 2026 is actually going to be easier, while everyone else is scrambling to catch up.
So, the bottom line here is simple. The time is now. This is the moment to take all that incredible Hong Kong experience and turn it from a local advantage into a truly global asset. Because the real risk isn't in making a move, it's waiting so long that the cost of staying put becomes too high to overcome.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. When that familiar ground, that comfort zone, starts shrinking right under your feet, is standing still really the safe choice? Or could it be the biggest risk of all? Something to think about.